Good morning everyone. Tara, basa tayo ng ating libro guys. Kapwa ko Pilipino, magbasa tayo ng ating sariling history book. History of the Filipino People by Agoncillo and Guerrero. Today is 23 March 2023. History of the Filipino People Part 6, The Third Republic. Topic number 27, Profile of the Economy. Andito tayo sa paragraph, Bad Features of Philippine Labor. Basa. Bad features of Philippine labor. On paper, it would seem that labor is united and therefore strong. Actually, however, Philippine labor is divided against itself, owing mainly to first, differences in principles, and second, personal ambitions of some leaders. Mergers of unions have failed in the past because of the insistence of some labor leaders on a certain degree of autonomy from the parent organization, a demand that was not taken seriously by those in power. On the other hand, labor leaders seldom agree, personally and in principles, with one another. Instead of unity, there is rivalry, which at times takes the form of busting each other's head. Labor rivalries in the waterfront are frequent and too scandalous to elucidate. Early in 1959, the labor unions grandiloquently announced the formation of a super organization, the Katipunan ng mga Manggagawang Pilipino, KMP. Ang tagal na pala ito KMP na to. But no sooner had President Garcia spoken to them at Ibanki at the Manila Hotel than some affiliated unions withdrew from the parent organization, allegedly on a question of principle. On September 6, 1969, the two biggest labor unions, the Philippine Trade Union Councils and the Philippine Labor Center, merged, an indication that labor is becoming a force in society. Some labor unions are still infested with unscrupulous and dishonest leaders whose one preoccupation is to make suckers out of the laborers. These leaders, or properly misleaders, would instigate a strike against management for the ostensible purpose of increasing wages. After days or weeks of negotiations, the leaders having been prevailed upon by management, to accept a gift or say 50,000 pesos, hala, ang laki, wouldn't tell the striking laborers that the company would be in the red if they persisted in their demands for wage increases. Would they want the company to close shop and consequently for them to lose their jobs? The naive laborers would look at one another and meekly submit to management. Another instance of dishonesty on the part of certain labor misleaders is the so-called kickback. In this practice, the labor leaders compel the workers to come across, that is to say, to give a part of their daily wages to the former through the kapatas or foreman, who sees to it that all pay their dues. A complaining or reluctant laborer is promptly punished by including him from the next job, thus depriving him of the opportunity to earn an honest living. Collectively, the laborers, being undisciplined in labor ways, invariably come across, thereby encouraging and perpetuating the system of exploitation. Still another dishonest practice is that in which the labor misleader hires his laborers for say 4 pesos a day. Actually, management pays him 6 or 7 pesos per laborer per day. Thus, the misleader gets between 2 and 3 pesos per laborer per day. If he has say 500 laborers in the payroll, he earns a call 1,000 pesos at 2 pesos per laborer and 1/5 a day of 3 pesos per laborer. Little wonder that some labor leaders with comparatively small salaries as heads of their labor unions live like princes. One other bad feature of labor in the Philippines is the workers' lack of civic sense, nurtured under a tradition of close family relations. The laborer thinks only of this family and forgets the larger issue of the class to which he belongs. A striking union fails because scabs act at a strike. Okay. One bad features, ulitin ko lang guys ha. One other bad feature of labor in the Philippines is the workers' lack of civic sense, nurtured under a tradition of close family relations. The laborer thinks only of his family and forgets the larger issue of the class to which he belongs. Striking unions falls because scabs act as strike breakers, and they do so because they think in terms of their families and not of the welfare of the laboring class. Much of the failure of labor strikes in the Philippines lies in the failure of the individual worker to make temporary sacrifices in the interest of his class. He thinks only of the here and now, of the present predicament of his family and not of its future, and ignores the fact that in acting thus he helps actively in perpetuating his unenviable condition. Also because of the close personal relations that characterize the worker as Filipino, he does not in general vote for his class candidates for elective positions. The case of a trade union leader who ran for vice mayor of Manila in the election of 1959 and got badly leaked by a novice shows not only the political immaturity of the Filipino worker but also his misplaced individualism and sense of personal loyalty. He invariably votes for any candidates, no matter how reactionary, who has patted him on the back and who has given him a few pesos. The candidate of his own class is thereby ignored and goes down in ignoble defeat. Press releases and eloquent speeches to the contrary notwithstanding, Philippine labor is, on the whole, still in with swaddling clothes. It will probably take some time for labor to get truly united and climb to a position of influence in the national community. Bukas na itong topic number 28 guys, external affairs. So yun. Bye everyone. God bless.